watching KWQC TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, the QC Environmental's film series, is underway. We will get a preview of the movie being shown at the Figgy this weekend and talk about what's to come.
That's right, as well as shopping, wine, sweet treats, special giveaways. We're getting details on the Galentine's experience at LeClaire's Route 67 shops.
And later on in the show, Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mississippi Valley is hosting its 20th annual mini golf event, benefiting mentors and kids. Learn more about how to get involved coming up. It is Thursday, January 20th, and you are watching Quad Cities Live. Thank you so much. Did I say what I said?
20th. That's okay.
January 30th. Wow, I'm having some issues reading the prompter today.
It is hard, folks, to read that prompter. It's the tiniest one we have.
Yes, and January is a long month too, right? Oh, boy. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us this afternoon. We'll get this thing on the tracks. I'm Kyle Keel.
I'm Morgan Otier. Thanks for joining us. Well, the history of John Deere in the Quad Cities dates back to the 1800s, and most of us were familiar with the story behind the iconic green and yellow, but many people don't know about the vast art collection that started at John Deere in the 60s. Neil Dahlstrom is an archivist with John Deere and joins us now. Neil, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here today. So the Figgy and John Deere are partnering for something really cool, and they're going to be showcasing some of the artwork. So tell us a little bit about this partnership and how it came to be.
Yeah, really, John Deere and the Figgies had a partnership, as far as I can tell, at least back to the 1950s and 60s.
Wow.
So this isn't new. This is very much just an extension of that relationship.
Okay, very cool. So tell us a little bit about the collection itself. As far as I've understood it in the past, it's quite extensive. I'm assuming not all of that will be part of this, but some of it will. Yeah,
that's right. The John Deere Art Collection mostly dates back to the 1960s and 70s. It kind of corresponds with the opening of John Deere headquarters in 1964. It's hundreds and hundreds of pieces. Wow. We're starting with a portion of those with the John Deere Gallery here at the Figgy.
Wow.
So what works are currently on display at the Figgy?
Well, there's more than 20 pieces. Okay. There's a dedicated John Deere gallery, which will include several what's called sculptural textiles from an artist named Magdalena Abakanowicz, who was a Polish artist. There's an oil painting by Alejandro Obregon called The Last Condor, part of a series of 50 some odd paintings he did featuring the Condor, and lots of other international artists.
Okay, very cool. And so will these be rotated out? So are there things that people can also look forward to seeing in future installations?
Yeah, that's the great part of this relationship is we're kicking off this first gallery and this first exhibition, which you can go see now. But in the upcoming years, we're going to continue to rotate art. We'll blend some with existing collections, and sometimes there'll be specific themes in the John Deere Gallery.
Wow, very cool.
And you know, John Deere and the Figgy are staples in the Quad Cities community. So what makes this partnership so special?
I just think we share a lot of common values. I think about the Figgy's mission, which very simply is to connect people to art. Yeah. The John Deere Art Collection was created to bring a bit of the world to the Quad Cities. And the Figgy does just that. So I just think there's a lot of good parallels there.
Yeah. So talk a little bit more about the collection and how it kind of represents John Deere's connection to agriculture, which is what people most often think of when they think of John Deere.
Yeah, I can't think of a better connection than a painting that's currently at the Figgy called Fall Plowing by Grant Wood. And it's a painting that maybe you don't know the name of it, maybe you don't know the artist, but when you see it,
when I saw it,
you'll recognize that piece. That's actually been part of the John Deere collection since 1966.
Oh, wow. No kidding. A long time.
So what are you hoping that people take away from this exhibit?
I really just hope that they understand the impact of having this world-renowned collection, which really complements existing collections at the Figgy. It's going to be a destination for Quad citizens. There's going to be people coming from around the world to see these pieces. And I really just hope that they're engaged and inspired through art.
Yeah, it seems like a really special opportunity for people to come see it. Do you get responses like that? I mean, from people, are they surprised? Are they shocked to see that there's been such a collection that's been had over the so many decades?
They are, and most of the collection was acquired in the 60s and 70s, but typically John Deere employees get to see that.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that I get to see it every day.
Yeah.
But boy, walking into the Figge, the second floor, and seeing this art on the walls of the Figge was just such a different experience for me. So I know it's going to be the same for everyone else who walks through those doors.
Very cool.
Yeah, it truly makes you appreciate the history that we have here in the Quad Cities, both John Deere and the art history as well. So, we've been seeing a ton of examples of the art that's on display at the Figge. So if you want to check it out, you have a chance to do so. The John Deere Collection Celebration is planned for next Thursday, February 6th at the Figge Art Museum. It runs from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And the good news is admission is free, and this is all part of Thursdays at the Figge initiative that we've talked about many times on this show. So it should be a good time for everyone to go check out all the artwork. Neil, as always, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you. I hope to see everyone there.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, speaking of the Figge Art Museum, the next film in the QC Environmental Film Series will be shown there this weekend. We're getting a preview and learning more about other films in the series next.
Every place we look, we end up finding microplastics. We find it in bottled water, we find it in tap water, we find it in beer, we find it in your fruits and vegetables, which means there's no doubt that it's making its way into us.
Well, this Sunday, embark on an eye-opening journey through the unseen impacts of plastic pollution in the Great Lakes region. A documentary film will be shown on screen at the Figge Art Museum as part of River Action's QC Environmental Film Series. It's something we've been covering now for the last couple of weeks. And joining me are Noah Hurtado and Connor Gordon, two students from Davenport North High School. Hey, thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk with you. Something that's really cool with this series is there are different schools, environmental organizations that are hosting films as part of this series. And so the one coming up this weekend will be hosted by your organization at Davenport North. So Connor, tell me a little bit about your environmental club there at the school.
So we call ourselves the Green Team. We're officially the Environmental Science Club, and every week we do certain things, like we go along 53rd Street and we clean up trash on the ground, or we check Goose Creek for pollutants, sponsoring events like the Environmental Film Festival, and we just do whatever we can to, educate people in the school about the environment and help our local natural beauty.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for doing that and just making the area a more beautiful place. So to all of you in the organization. Noah, what do you like about being part of the organization?
We get to have meetings and talk about how we can change the environment.
Yeah, and that is super important that there are people out there that care about that, of course. So you guys are trying to kind of set an example, through the work that you do. The next film that's going to be shown as part of this series. Tell us a little bit about it. From what I understand, this will be new to you as well, like you haven't seen the entire film yet, but this is something that once learning about it, Connor, it was important for you to show and you wanted other people to see it. Why is that?
Well, plastic is a really big issue in the environment, and it's a big issue for us, the Green Team in particular, because, well, when you go out and you look for trash, or you go and, because we go and we empty the outside recycling bins at North, and we have our own recycling bins, like
yeah, you brought
this one over here.
Yeah.
And we put these up at sporting events. What we find is a lot of people have plastic and they don't tend to dispose of it properly as much as we would like them to.
Okay.
So a really big issue for us is raising awareness about plastic, and that's why we're sponsoring Ripples of Plastic in particular.
Yeah, okay, super important. So there's after each film is shown, there's a reflection speaker. So that's something that we've talked about when we've discussed this series, are the different reflection speakers. So do you know anything about the reflection speaker that's going to be talking after this film is shown? Because it's actually pretty exciting.
Yes, it's going to be, if if I remember correctly, actually the director of the documentary.
Yes, Chris Langer. So the filmmaker and the director, which is very cool. I don't know everything about him, but from what I understand, this may have been his first film that he worked on, and he's actually going to be coming to the Quad Cities, to the Figge, to talk more about what it was like creating this film and, of course, what he learned. Noah, I mean, what do you think it's going to be like to kind of hear from the person who was on the front lines and creating this film for other people to see and really feel activated by?
Well, I wouldn't know because I won't be there.
Oh.
Because I'll be busy.
Oh, okay. Well, what about you, Connor?
Well, I'm really excited for it. This is really one of my favorite parts about raising awareness about the environment is going to this film festival and helping with the presentations and having our own presentations, and seeing the speaker, because last year we did A Woman Who Loves Giraffes.
Okay.
And we had a zoo keeper, and he talked about endangered species, and I'm really excited to see the director of this film.
It's a unique opportunity. It absolutely is. One that I don't think a lot of folks get the opportunity to have and be a part of, especially students. It kind of, it gets you started on probably what will be a long career in activism and environmental activism, which is very cool. Well, as I mentioned, all 4 remaining films in the series, they're hosted by student environmental groups. So are there any other films that, Connor, you specifically are going to go and check out as part of this series?
Well, I had in particular wanted to see the Shipthropocene. That one seemed...
And that one will be the weekend afterward, or a couple weeks from this. So February 16th, we have it on the screen right now. And then there will be another one at the Figge on February 23rd. So these are all going to be shown on Sundays at 3 p.m. at the Figge Art Museum, with the exception of the final film, which you see there on your screen, which will be on March 2nd. It's called Giants Rising. It will be shown at the Galvin Fine Arts Center there on St. Ambrose campus. If you want to purchase tickets, just visit riveraction.org/film series. Noah and Connor, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Oh, before I forget, I would actually like for people to come before 3, because the Green Team will be having our own little presentation between 2 and 3.
Yes.
And there will also be a short film by the Living Lands and Waters organization, Study Abroad, and it's about the alternative spring break program that they have, where instead of just going on regular old spring break vacation, they have kids go
and they clean up the rivers.
Clean up the rivers.
Yeah, they're a wonderful organization. Well, thank you for that little inside tip. I will hope that people will make time and come a little bit early and just hear all about your wonderful organization. Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. And still to come on QCL, LeClaire's Route 67 shops, they are hosting a Galentine's experience. You are invited. We're going to take a look at what to expect after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Find out what's new for spring while indulging in some sweet treats at the upcoming Galentine's Experience in LeClaire. It's a collaboration among multiple businesses in the Route 67 building on Cody Road. Joining me is one of those business owners, Tash Wallig from Cody Rose Flower Co. Tash, thanks for being here. I should say welcome back.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me
Well, you
back.
always make it so much more beautiful whenever you join us with your gorgeous bouquets of flowers, and they're truly incredible.
Thank you.
So yeah, I want to get to you specifically in just a minute, but first the Galentine's Experience. So it's coming up not this weekend, next weekend, Saturday, February 8th. It runs all day long. So tell us a little bit about it, and what you guys are going for in creating this event.
Definitely. So this is our second year doing this. This year we decided to do something a little different by having like an experience made out of it. So we have 4 different sessions that people can sign up for.
Okay.
They can come in and they can do a permanent bracelet, make a bouquet, make a candle, and then they'll get like a special discount at the Clothing Co. So it's like a 1 hour section of time, and they get a glass of wine and like
Oh my
awesome
gosh.
sweet treats from Thick Kitchen and from Cookies by Design. So
Oh wow,
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect. So how do people who are interested, do they need to sign up for a specific time? So how
you
do they
definitely
do
have to
that?
sign up ahead of time just so we all know to have
Who's
it.
coming and yeah.
Exactly. So if you go onto our Facebook page, you'll see the link right on there.
Yes,
Super
it's
easy.
right there under the events.
Yes.
You can find the Galentine's Experience, and
Yep.
it's really easy to find. It's got all the info in there for you. So let's talk a little bit about what you brought here today.
Okay.
So Cody Rose, let's start with your business.
Yes.
Holy cow, this is incredibly beautiful. I'm assuming you're already getting orders
We are
for Valentine's Day.
We're getting a lot of orders, which is amazing. We opened it up online this year, which has been great.
Yes.
I think guys really especially love
Yeah.
that. They don't have to call us. They
Yeah.
can just go online and pick something out, and it's been
Well, you have really
great.
cute stuff as well, like different like price point options, which is
For
super
sure.
important because
For
I
sure.
even saw something really cute on there that I was thinking about getting for my daughter.
Yes.
The little like love bug
The little
things.
ladybug attached to the flowers.
They're so cute.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit though about your aesthetic when it comes to creating these beautiful flower arrangements.
Yeah.
Because they're unique. They're almost like bohemian.
Yeah,
Like
we try. I mean, I think it's just been kind of our style all along. We really try to use cool, unique things that you
Yeah.
just don't see everywhere. And so that's just, we love it so much.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's always a lot of color and there's always a lot of texture, and it's
Yes.
just they're beautiful to look at. So
Thank you.
people that participate, they're going to have a chance to make their own bouquets of flowers, their own arrangements, I should say.
Yes.
So describe that, like roughly what size
Yeah.
is it going to be? Kind of like the one on
So
the end there.
You're looking at something kind of in between this one and
Okay.
this one, I would say. So we don't send anybody out with anything that's not,
Yeah.
not like really nice and,
Oh, I'd
and
be
something to be proud of.
Fine
So-
with both of those.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
They're incredibly
Yes.
beautiful.
So we'll try to make sure that we have our really neat, unique flowers there for everybody to choose from. And if it's something that you're intimidated by, we always go around at the end
kinda coach
and
people.
kind of, fluff them up a little bit and
Yeah.
help everybody along. But it's so much fun. We have a blast.
I
with
can
it.
imagine. Okay, so talk a little bit about the other businesses
Yes.
that are in the Route 67, that building there on Cody Road, because there are several of you, and you all have something incredible to offer.
We have just the most fun together.
Yeah.
Somehow it all worked out and we all meshed really well.
Yes.
So
I have to smell
Buttercup
this one
candles.
again.
Yeah, so that's their signature candle, Cody Road. It smells amazing. Then we have our
really does.
Saturday morning cereal, which smells just
Like Fruit Loops.
It does. We were talking about that. It brings you back to childhood for sure. And then this is their candle of the month for February, which is Love Story. And
Oh.
then they will be a part of our experience too. You can kind of come in and make a candle with Carter, and
That's
it's
fun.
It's a blast.
Yeah, that's fun. It's because you get to, I want to smell this so bad.
Yes.
So as soon as they move the camera. Thank you. Yes, as you can like come away with so much
You
with
can.
your arrangement and the
Yes.
candle that you created. Like it
Yes.
really is like a do event. I mean,
Right.
you can definitely be shopping, of course, while you're doing all that.
Absolutely. You don't have to sign up for the event to come and see us that day. I mean, we're
Exactly.
going to have all of us have so much new inventory in,
Yeah.
and there's so many great things to see and do.
Yeah,
for sure.
a cute T-shirt there on the
Thanks.
end, and then talk a little bit about what
Yep.
else we have here because they're really cute gift ideas.
So Livia at Nest has just the greatest items. I
Yep.
mean, if your girl isn't a flower girl, certainly you can find something here. We've got little tokens, of course, geometry towels. She's got little blind date books and glitter sangria, which
glitter sangria.
every girl would love that, right?
Yeah, this one cute. This is what the camera is on right now. So I was looking inside of this, and
Yes.
it's called Letters to My Love, which is very cute.
Very
but there
cute.
are these little envelopes on the inside pages, and they all have like different themes, and you could write like a letter depending on each theme and a date for when you want your love to open the letter, which I just like. What an amazing, adorable idea. And blind date with a book, which we've seen in the past, which is great. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get,
No.
but you buy it anyways based on what it says on the
Right.
front. So that's really
Right.
cool.
Yes,
So what's
absolutely.
your hope? After this Galentine's Experience
Yes.
weekend. I mean, we're inching a little bit closer to spring,
Thank God.
hopefully.
Yes, we're ready. We're tulips and bright colors in the shop. We're just hoping people can come out and have a good time, kind of escape the dreariness of winter, and just come out and have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fun event, and if you've never been to visit these businesses before, it's a great way to familiarize yourself with everything they have. I mean, I know Katie isn't here today with the Clothing Co., but you know, she has multiple boutique clothing vendors under one roof, so there's absolutely no chance you won't find something that you like. Everyone. Yeah, there's something for everybody there, so it's worth checking out all of your businesses. The Galentine's experience itself at Route 67 Shops, it is set once again Saturday, February 8th. The event runs all day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Plenty of shopping and some special giveaways as well. Now, if you do want to make sure that you go online and register, though, if you want to participate in making the candle and making the flower arrangement. So, Tash, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Morgan.
Yes, thank you. Well, we are all talking things Galentine's. We're talking things Valentine's. Maybe consider celebrating Valentine's Day. We'll sit down with Nelson Chiropractic coming up. And later, January is National Mentoring Month, and we'll learn more about ways to support the ultimate mentoring organization, Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mississippi Valley. But first, another day hovering around 50 degrees before we may see some rain. Meteorologist Kyle Keel will join us after the break with a look at our full forecast.
And now your first alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, it's certainly been a gloomy day for some of us. Others, like Galena, Maquoketa, Dubuque. Yeah, you're seeing some sunshine. Very foggy there in Burlington, and just plain old clouds here in the Metro Quad Cities. Rock Island and Bettendorf both showing those clouds here on our Everywhere Camera Network. Winds generally about 5, 10, maybe up to 15 miles per hour. But where that wind is lighter and we had a little bit of moisture earlier today, those areas of fog are developing. In fact, visibility is reduced quite a bit here in Burlington. Here, as we can see, our roads were a little wet earlier as we had some light rain move through, but we have more rain headed our way. Visibility down to about a mile there in Burlington, Galesburg, Macomb, less than a mile there in Keokuk. So we'll have to see how far north this fog gets. But you get from the Quad Cities, Kewaunee, Princeton, points off to the north. Visibility doing A-OK right now. And this is all ahead of our low pressure system that is located off to our south and west. It's going to continue to track off to the north. This system is producing a lot of heavy rain. Lots of flash flood warnings there in portions of Arkansas. Southern Illinois getting some heavy rain. But it's this backside of the low pressure that we are tracking for our round of moderate to heavy rain as we head into the overnight hours. But as we get a closer look here at home on the view on satellite, yeah, you can see just to the north of Clinton there. That's where we're getting some sunshine there. Mount Carroll, Savannah, up towards Stockton, Galena, Maquoketa, seeing that sunshine. And those temperatures are very reflective on where that sunshine is. 57 degrees right now in Maquoketa as well as Galena. It's 61 in Waterloo. That shatters the record for that location of 55 set back in 1924. We've managed to make it to the upper 40s here in the Quad Cities before that cloud cover really got thick. And then we've got that rain-cooled area where we have that fog. Temperatures right now are generally in the lower 40s. So kind of a split in those temperatures here. And the next 24 hours will show that temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler heading into tomorrow. But take note of when the rain moves in. We'll have those temperatures in the upper 30s to the lower 40s. By the time you get up here early tomorrow morning, it will be a chilly rain. We are not expecting any snow or ice. The only impacts you'll have are certainly some wet roadways here as we head into tomorrow. But by midday, the rain will come to an end, and then by this time tomorrow, we'll be talking sunshine across the region. As we take a look at ExactTrack, just a couple of scattered showers here early this evening, but it's after midnight that the more widespread rain will come in. Notice some of the heavier rain likely going to fall just south of the Quad Cities. Every model run that comes in is kind of shifting that band of heavy rain. So it looks like you get north of Clinton, we'll definitely see some lighter rainfall amounts. That rain is going to continue here into the early morning hours on your Friday. Here we are at 11 o'clock, midday. We're still looking at some rain, especially along the Mississippi River and points off to the east, but areas seeing the sunshine right now. Maquoketa, Galena, you'll likely see sunshine by lunchtime tomorrow, and the cloud cover will continue here for the Quad Cities and points south until mid to late afternoon, and then we'll see a clearing sky here as we head Friday night into Saturday morning. Maybe a few areas of patchy fog by the time you wake up here early Saturday. As far as the rainfall goes, we definitely could use the moisture. Some of this will soak into the ground given the warm days that we've had. Much of this is going to run off. Not concerned about any flooding or anything like that. But we could see areas of a ½ inch to 1 inch, maybe some locally higher amounts. But again, off to the north, that's where we are going to see slightly lower amounts. And then beyond that, we're tracking our next storm here by the middle of next week. I will tell you, Model 1 earlier had a swath of snow here across eastern Iowa and western Illinois. That is now backed off. Maybe some rain or a wintry mix. Model number 2 keeps it all rain. Temperatures kind of all over the place here by the middle of next week. So just something that we wanted to make you aware about here as we head over the next 7 days. And you'll notice those temperatures will go up and down as well. We're talking low to mid 40s here Friday and Saturday. Mid 50s on Sunday. That is the pick of the weekend. And then we're back to the 40s and 30s here early next week, which is not too bad here for this time of year. But I tell you what, that 55 on Sunday, I think that a lot of the car washes are going to be very, very busy because we've got all that road salt and brine and all that stuff that's on our cars. I know my car definitely needs it if it's not all washed off by the rain here on Friday. So definitely looking like a pretty good weekend to get outside, Morgan.
Oh yeah, Kyle, absolutely. I mean, when I saw that, I've been telling myself, you know, if we ever get a nice day, I'm going to clean out my car. So not necessarily go to the car wash, but I have so much stuff in my car that is piled up, kids stuff, you name it, stuff to take to Goodwill. I'm going to do it on Sunday.
I think that should be your win of the weekend, Morgan. I better hear about it early next week.
Uh-oh, now I better do it. So
you're on the spot there.
I got something on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Up next, happy Valentine's Day. Nelson Chiropractic is here with tips and advice to help your spine feel the love.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
As Valentine's Day approaches, consider showing yourself some love with a few self-care tips and reminders. Here to celebrate Valentine's Day is Dr. Tracy Nelson from Nelson Chiropractic. Dr. Tracy Nelson, welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Yes, it's a little known holiday.
It's a little known holiday, but we love it just the same. It keeps making me giggle every time I say Valentine's. It's just perfect. So we don't often pay attention to our spine or back problems until they become a problem.
Right. If someone has missed something they really want to do because their back hurts or their neck hurts, that give them a headache or something like that, then they remember, right, that they need to take care of it. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to focus on several things, starting with tech and screen ergonomics. This is something that I know we've been hearing about in the media for a while now, something called text neck.
Yeah, text neck. So I brought my phone here, propping.
Oh, good.
So
I have mine too.
all the time, and you know, we'll see people like this, just looking down at it.
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Yep. So if you're going to be on your phone for a while and, you know, hanging out at home, watching videos, whatever, you can put a pillow on your lap and kind of prop it up a little bit like that. So it's holding it up and you're not
That's so funny because even like my whole posture, like, and this is what I will naturally do, and this is my whole posture. You lost your mic there. So that is a big one. So hold at eye level to avoid text neck. That's a big one. Or you can use voice to text. Maybe if you're not around a lot of people. My mom's favorite thing is voice to text, and it becomes a lot.
Yeah, there's some funny misspellings when that happens. But if you know, I do see a lot of wrist, a lot of thumb issues, a lot of strain like that. So you don't need to type emails on your phone typically. So you can sit down at your desktop, laptop, things like that to do those. But just sending a voice text is going to really help the strain on your hands.
Okay. Laptop and computer setup. So whatever you've got going on at home or at the office, this is something to pay attention to.
Yeah, laptops are not really meant to be worked on for an entire day. And the reason is because you want your monitor to be straight ahead, even with your chin, and then you want your keyboard to be here, like shoulders down. This is what people get doing, you know, like this. So it strains your neck and your shoulders when you're on a laptop all day. So you can get an external keyboard and then prop your laptop up. That makes a huge difference for people if you're doing it all day.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have so many people now that are able to work from home, which is lovely, but I bet this is becoming kind of a bigger issue.
It definitely does.
Okay, TV watching. So that's another one where you don't want your neck to be like, you know, like where you don't sit in the movie theater in the front row because this is what you're doing.
Yeah. So a lot of times, you know, once our patients are starting to feel better, then they start to notice the things that do bother them,
Yeah.
right? So some people literally will sit here and watch TV over there, and that's their spot, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's bad on the neck, and even the best recliner that's straight on, if you don't have something behind you and your low back is kind of slumping the other
Yeah.
direction, it will strain you. So you want to have a pillow behind you so your back stays curved instead of
Okay.
reverse.
Interesting. Driving without back strain. So that's kind of in that same situation. So how you're seated in your car, especially if you're going to be driving a lot.
Yeah, and we get like this.
Yeah.
You know, we get our shoulders up into our ears. We have to just remember to relax them and then to have some low back support.
Okay, so posture, seat position, and along with the shoulders, steering and arm position. So there's a right way to hold, go back to driver's ed, right?
Yep.
There's a right way to hold the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And take breaks and stretch, which I know we talked about when we talked all about people traveling for the holidays and how important that is, just to make sure that you are giving your body time to stretch. Caring for kids without hurting your spine. I couldn't wait to get to this one.
Yeah, so speaking of things we love that cause us issues, right? So, you know, you want to not carry kids, but of course we do, because we never know when the last time it will be, right? So, you know, alternating, carrying them on the front, having them jump up to you instead of, you know, leaning over and sideways twisting. I see that a lot, especially toddlers are like this.
Yeah.
So just making sure that they're kind of even and you alternate those kinds of things. But getting them in and out of the car is probably where I see the most injuries.
Really? In and out of a car seat?
Yeah, in and out of the car seat. So you're picking them up and twisting them in a little bit, and the actual seat, you want to put the seat in, get the weight off of you, and then put it in, right? So you're not twisting and hooking it all at one time.
Yeah, that's like so many things to think about. And I was told, like, not very long ago by a physician, you know, I was having a hip problem, and they said, well, do you have kids? And I said, yeah. Well, how do you carry her? On my right hip. And like that, those years has made an impact. Now she's 6 and she still wants me to carry her. So
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of strains the muscles, and you literally do hold it up like that. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. I love that one. So car seat, diaper changes, and bedtime routines. That was another one that I thought was really interesting. Like when you're putting kiddos to bed, it's better to sit on their bed, you know, if you're going to read a book or sing a song, as opposed to leaning over. So that was a good one. So quick spine-friendly stretches that we can do, and you gave us a little list. So the first one on it is chin tucks. So this is going to relieve.
We're going to do this on television.
Let's do it.
So it's literally trying to make as many chins as you can, like bringing your head straight back. I know we're like this, bringing it straight back. Yep. And when you do that, you can feel it on the back of your neck, and you can almost feel it to the middle of your back. What that does, it brings your head back over your shoulders. I know, right? We need some kind of a black bar across us. But it does, it brings your head back over, so then your head's not as heavy, because your head that's out in front of you is much heavier.
Yeah.
And your spine is not holding your head then. Your muscles are, and they get tired. So you want to bring that back over.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, it's a good one to do at the computer all day, working, driving, long drives, all those different kinds of things to just kind of reset. TV,
on TV. Seated shoulder rolls. This one so sounds good.
Yeah, literally just remembering to drop them down and just kind of move them back. And when you do both of those together, it really is going to start to relax your shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, if you're anything like me, like people are always saying, like you're up here, like just you know,
we get really focused and kind of into what we're doing.
Holding that tension in your shoulders.
Yeah, so just rolling them around front and back is good. And then the last one is just really just reaching back, putting your thumbs back and leaning back like that. Yeah, just like that. So a computer looking up and kind of back, and just opening up and stretching your neck and upper back will make a huge difference.
That's a good one. And those are all ones that you can do, like if you're at the office or something like that. I mean, you know, within reason. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that's great. Thank you so much. And if you're watching right now, you feel like you're having some issues that you can't resolve with some of those stretches, Nelson Chiropractic is located in the Quad Cities, right there in Cumberland Square in Bettendorf. We have the phone number on your screen right now, along with the website, nelsonchiropractic.com. Dr. Tracy Nelson, as always, just amazing tips and just a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here. Up next on QCL, ways to support Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mississippi Valley during National Mentoring Month. We're getting details on the annual mini golf event coming up next week. Coming up tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, a preview of Flock to the Rock, a fun event happening in Rock Falls next weekend where visitors can see ice carvings, birds of prey, and bald eagles soaring along the river.
Plus, we were able to get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the newest furniture store in the Quad Cities ahead of its grand opening next month. We will take you to Bob's Discount Furniture tomorrow right here on Quad Cities Live.
Ooh, that looks fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. January is National Mentoring Month, and for over 35 years now, Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mississippi Valley has created one-on-one mentoring relationships, pairing supportive adults with area kids.
Yeah, joining us now from Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mississippi Valley is Kylie Wise. Kylie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, obviously Big Brothers Big Sisters is a very important organization here in the Quad Cities and really across the country. So talk about the overall mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Sure, so you kind of touched on it. We match an adult in the community with a child who could use a little extra support, reaching those milestones in life. So sometimes it's helping out with homework, just providing a listening ear for a kid, helping them get to graduation. We just have so many cool stories of what our bigs are helping our littles achieve.
Yeah, I think that's great. Talk a little bit about the benefits that you see as well among children that take part in this program, and roughly what age can they start taking part?
Sure, so the biggest benefits we see, social skills are impacted, huge improvement there. We do see an improvement in grades, and our national agency actually has a big economic study coming out, which we're starting to see some results from. Our littles will achieve 15% higher in income too from students that don't have a kind of mentor in their life.
Wow.
So the impacts are really endless. And then ages, you can be matched with a school-age child up until 18 years old.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes, these adults really do have a big impact, and they really do make a difference with their littles. So how do you go about selecting the adults for each kid? Does the adult get to choose which age range they want to pair up with?
Oh, yes. We take into account the interest of the big, you know, where they're located in the Quad Cities, the age of a child that they would like. And then also we get interest from the littles too. So it's kind of like a matchmaking service for mentors. And you know, we do our best to make the best match we can.
Yeah, that's great. And it must be super meaningful as well to the mentors. You know, obviously they're taking part in this for a reason. They obviously think that, you know, this is going to make a difference in their lives as well, you know, starting these relationships with these kids, but I'm assuming it really does, because a lot of them do this for a very long time.
Oh yeah, we've had matches, well, they continue after they're 18 too, as an unofficial match. Our CEO has been matched with his little, you know, for like 30 years now.
Gosh.
I love that.
But, you know, 10 plus years, they'll see him through graduation. Very cool. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things we love hearing is a mentor saying, I started this because I thought I was going to make a difference in a kid's life, and they made just as big an impact in mine. And it's so cool. We have bigs with families, multiple children of their own, and you know, I always think, how are you doing all of that? And they say it's easy. My little becomes part of the family. They come over and hang out with the kids.
That's great.
It's really making a difference. So if someone's watching from home and they want to become a big, how can they go about doing that?
Sure. So go to our website, bbbsmv.org. And we have an inquiry form there. You can fill out your information, and then you'll be contacted.
Somebody will contact you. Okay, so we want to talk about how we can support your organization, and one way to do that is to participate in this really great annual event, which is the Putt Around event. So tell us about that as we look at some photos of what everything really looks like there. That's in the River Center?
Yes, in the Great Hall at the River Center. And we have businesses will design and build a mini golf hole. And as you see on the screen there, some of them go above and beyond. They're really incredible. So we couldn't do this event without these businesses who sponsor holes. We have lots of other giveaways going on too. So I think there's like 6 or 7 different ways you can win. We do a 50-50.
Wonderful.
We have 21 raffles this year. Just lots going on.
This is really cool. And
Yeah.
so for people like kind of wondering about the concept, it's like this indoor mini golf situation, but these businesses, they sponsor these holes, they put them together, and yeah, you just get to participate. And it all starts next week, correct? So
Yes.
people can go online and they kind of sign up for when they want to go and do this. And you can
Yes.
do individually, but you can also go as a team.
Yes, it is the most fun to do as a team.
Yeah.
It's a team of 4. And yeah, you can register online at puttaround.org, and 7 shifts to choose from. So we go from Wednesday to Friday.
Okay.
We have 2 shifts on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, and 3 on Friday.
Very cool.
I will say registration ends February 1st, so
Okay.
this Saturday.
Nice.
For the online, if you show up at the River Center.
Try and find you a spot.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, these businesses go all out. They get very, very creative in their own little way, kind of match it to the theme of their business as well.
Yeah.
So this is 20 years that the Putt-Putt has been around. So talk about how it's grown.
Sure. So this event started on a bar napkin. You know.
Oh my
Those are the best, right?
It's
Best
cliche,
idea
but
is start on a bar napkin.
Yes, and then it actually started out at a mini golf course.
Okay.
I believe out on Kimberly Road.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it moved to the Isle of Capri.
Awesome.
And then it moved to the River Center in a smaller room, and then we grew into the Great Hall.
Well, if you would like to learn more about Big Brothers and Big Sisters, you can head to the website, and that's also where you can sign up for next week's event.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for watching.
Your news at 4 is coming up next. Have a great day.